Law of withdrawing in operation. Eternal consciousness does not withdraw. It is constantly present and available. Revealed in humanity. As human beings, we can remove ourselves from a field of action, turn our attention and focus elsewhere. Withdrawing can be effective for well-being and can be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. It is effective to rest or enter a passive state after periods of extensive action. For example, meditation is a form of withdrawing. In sports and child rearing, calling a time out can help reset energy and change the momentum. Withdrawing can be done properly or improperly. Withdrawing properly means following conscience and laws of being. An optimum outcome of withdrawing involves accessing stillness, connecting with being, and returning to balance. Withdrawing can lead to entering spaces you have not encountered before. Both light and dark spaces are possible. For example, people can withdraw their awareness from their divine existence. Proper withdrawing. Withdrawing properly means removing yourself from the situation in the most mature and orderly way possible. Physically withdrawing from a situation that involves any type of abuse is imperative when possible. A common reason to withdraw is because progression is not occurring. For example, when no authentic listening is happening, withdrawing may be a healthy course of action. Spiritual masters sometimes withdraw when there is obvious resistance instead of receptivity. Withdrawing is an effective choice instead of interfering improperly. Intentional withdrawing for spiritual reflection, deepening, and/or refreshment is often proper action. Improper withdrawing. Departing improperly involves abdicating your duty, failing to take responsibility, or communicating dishonestly. Improper withdrawing makes people out of sorts and results in imbalance. For example, escaping into isolation when leadership or active involvement is required is a form of improper withdrawing. Withdrawing improperly can leave you in limbo or worse. Worse is a nihilistic existence devoid of purpose and meaning. If you withdraw unconsciously without being aware of what you are doing, you might enter into a state of feeling lost because you have not chosen where you will land. You are just hoping that where you find yourself will be better than where you were. Improperly withdrawing can mean you stop being curious, which cuts off learning and development. Consult your conscience to know when to go and when to stay. The dark side. Withdrawing operates from the dark side of the expression of the light of being. The dark side is often part of a cycle that is effective for balance in and for life. For example, in nature, withdrawing is evident as plants decompose and new life emerges. As part of the law of withdrawing, there is the possibility of returning to the void, which means not just returning into stillness, but returning to the stillness experienced in the void. In the dark void, there is nothingness. Positive results of experiencing nothingness include being released from attachments and discovering the creation process. It is unwise to ignore the darkness because it is part of the whole. Wisdom training involves learning how to effectively incorporate withdrawing. Antithesis. The antithesis of withdrawing is bringing forth. Bringing forth without conscious awareness can result in nonsense, noise, or havoc. Acting contrary to the law of withdrawing means either going when you should stay or staying when you should go. Departing prematurely, wearing out your welcome, or continuing to interfere are all actions that are ineffective for well-being. For best results, listen to conscience and take actions that lead to balance and harmony. Application: how to apply the law of withdrawing. Develop your observation skills and your conscience enough to know when to withdraw. When something is closed to you, withdraw respectfully and look for openings elsewhere. Withdrawing can be strategic and does not necessarily equate to regression. When you are involved in a disturbance, it is often effective to withdraw, at least long enough to get centered and choose the most effective way forward.